My name is Athanasius Johnson. I'm an architect. I'm also a furniture designer. But in architecture, I specialize with virtual reality technology for architecture. So before buildings are built, we kind of give clients the opportunity to work inside before construction. Okay, imagine, so it wasn't deliberate, to be honest, right? I studied architecture in school. I have a master's degree in architecture. And I was working one day for an architectural firm, and I was thinking to myself, what's the future of architecture? And how can I play my part in bringing that, to pass? And that was when I stumbled upon extended reality. Extended reality is the umbrella word for virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality. And with VR, you kind of you can go into the future of the project and check out the lights, check out the ventilation, check out basically everything that you would need, and make better and more informed decisions. Furniture design is just one of the ways that I express myself as a designer, as a creative person, and also to because when you design buildings a lot, it takes time for them to be constructed, a lot of things. But with this, it's more fast, it's more fluid, and the ideas came, and I believe I'm a limitless person in the sense that if I feel like I've been inspired to design a plane, I would design the plane. So it's called the Akpot chair. It's called, which is Yoruba word for we are many. And if you see here, it's actually, there are a couple of waves, right? We've waved a part of the chair, basically telling you about the idea of a collective community and how we need each other to live. I also remember a particular memory when I was a kid. I was playing on the mango tree, and the mango tree had a lot of roots, right, interconnected, and that's the idea for the collection, right, where now we can make new memories by just sitting on the roots of this new chair. So it's celebrating unity in our diversity, and just the childhood memory that stuck with me for a long time. The thing about XR is this: it allows you to do expensive things in a cheap way, and dangerous thing in a safe space, taking clients into the future of their buildings and allowing them to feel the intangibles, things that you can't see in the floor plan, in the 3D, in the animations, giving them the ability to see the finer details, the little things, and make better and more informed decisions, which at the end of the day will help them make more, save money. So we're bridging the gap of communication issue in our industry. In terms of mixed reality, we're seeing, and which is what we're working on in Polar Bear, is that we're seeing ways where we can connect the actual and physical environment with buildings that have not been constructed, and be able to see beam readings, geographical readings, sunrise, sunset, all of those things that can help us design better buildings and more functional buildings. And the last thing I would say is empathy. Empathy is walking in another person's shoes. With VR, you can walk in the shoes of your user. Because as an architect, if I design a building, I'm not the one that's going to live there. I'm not the one who's going to work there. We need to design spaces that are functional and usable for the user. So that's a good question, because right now there's still a big gap in that regard. And that's what we're trying to do at Polar Bear. We're trying to bridge that gap. And we're going to a couple of architectural firms, interior designers. Basically, currently we're doing some work. By doing the work, we're bridging that gap. And I've been invited to speak at conferences, even at schools, architectural schools, to talk about the XR community. But yeah, the technology is solving a lot of problems in our design space. Yeah. But right now, it's not too accessible, but it's growing, because that's the future of design. Okay. So and that's what we've been doing a lot right now in terms of collaborating with architectural firms, real estate companies, to be able to make it cheaper and accessible for them. Because that's been the biggest challenge for them. Is it affordable? Is it worth it? They are getting results done without it. So if you're coming to them, it needs to make sense financially. And that's where collaboration comes in, and where we can work hand in hand to ensure that the technology is affordable for them, so that they are able to actually use the benefits and enjoy the benefits of the technology. Yeah, so right now we're having challenges with that, because architects don't get paid a lot, right? And that needs to change, right? So it's like they have to supplement with doing construction work, hiring on contractor projects. So it's like they're already trying to save costs. So now you're bringing this technology, and which is what we're currently building, something that would democratize the access to VR Okay, so the work that has been exhibited in Finland last year, Paris, that was focused on my work in extended reality, AR, augmented reality to be precise. And I'm pretty sure this will be going around soon. But in general, it just makes you grateful that people value the work. I don't think I seek their validation, but it feels good that there's at least a pat on your back that you're doing something. And I think the PR really helps the African design industry, where we're perceived as something else, and now there are people bridging the gap and just pushing for better representation in that regard. I would say the biggest challenge has been working with different teams, because, for example, the furniture makers are different from the teams we work with XR, with VR. Even though to a certain level, for the team with the VR, most of us are architects. About 90% of us are architects with architectural background. So that's easier. But merging that with furniture design and where it's a whole new team. So merging that gap, I would say would be the biggest challenge that I face. But we have to make it work one way or the other. I would say that execute. I don't think it's enough to be a designer. No, and that's not to disrespect any designer. I would say that if you can't execute, collaborate with people who can execute your designs, so that there's something tangible for you to show for what you've done. In our part of the world, designers are not appreciated enough, and they are not valued enough. So it's important for you to find ways to leave your mark. What you've designed on your laptop and you've printed out, collaborate with people who help you bring it to life and show it across boards, and you'll get celebrated for your work. That's where VR comes in.
Yeah.
Where they don't even need the architectural drawings anymore. Like, on the architectural drawing, they're saying their room is 5 meter by 5 meter. A lot of them don't understand metric system and how it actually feels. So that's why when they now construct it, they're now like, oh my god, my room is so small, or it's too big. Why did you do this? I didn't agree to this. With VR, you already have a physical idea of the space. You can make better informed decisions and cut down on communication. That's why I spoke about communication. Thank you.